Jim, from there, why don't we travel all the way to the world of WWE, Las Vegas, for a lot of this. WWE Unreal, the final episode, episode 5.
Well, I'll tell you, you caught me while I was taking a sip. Where is that? Oh, I'll tell you where it is.
That is on
right
Netflix,
here.
Available.
No, I don't mean that.
everywhere.
I mean, where was it in my preparation? It's more like my preparation H. Because this thing's definitely getting up my ass. This was, of course, and a horse of the horse.
What is happening today?
I don't know. Well, I'm telling you, I got to have this tooth pulled. I've told you about that.
Yes.
This was the month leading up to WrestleMania. And then of course, the big climactic 2 nights of the big event. And they started out the show. Tell me what you think, Brian. But they started out the show with talking about Cena's heel turn, and there's the big talking head of John there. And, you know, you could tell they were magnifying the boos, but they also reminded us of all the horrible things that he said during that time.
Yeah.
And this is now playing right after he's apologized. And you would think they wouldn't want to remind people. But
I forgot when he was cutting that promo and he like pointed out some kid in the crowd and he like went after him. They showed the kid just standing there. I forgot about that.
And fuck you little shit, as Ole Anderson used to say, all the little dumb shits in the dumb shit family. And then they led to a writer's room meeting. They're trying to build the story. Is Jay going to stand up under the pressure of all that we're giving him? Or that we're putting him over? Is he going to stand up under all the pressure? And they're doing the same thing we do. We critique his work, but they're doing it in their own company to their own guy. It was the writer's room Zoom meeting where we got to see all their cherubic faces peeking out at us from multiple screens. It looked like goddamn Brady Bunch if nobody ever got laid. And they're talking about Jay. Well, he's been blown up and he missed the dive, and they showed him falling over his ass over tea kettle, missing a dive. And he's struggling under pressure. And again, I'm like, dude, I know they're trying to make everybody human, but a lot of your heroes aren't supposed to be human. And besides that, do we need to air the dirty laundry with, again, all of these fucking moon-faced writers that are just mugging for their Zoom camera? Yeah, we might have to just take this away from him. What did you think?
See, how manufactured was all that? Because, again, we're not fans of his in-ring work, but he has done an amazing job as a personality and a lot of the big promo segments of the last few years, facial expressions, everything other than, like, work.
Yeah.
I really, really like him, and he seems to have excelled ever since Stephen P. New got them yeet. But they were making it out like...
Master.
They were making it out like he was gonna... I mean, when they say these pressures or live up to these standards, are they talking about, like, just doing media and waking up and flying around everywhere, or what exactly?
Well, no, because they're trying to, and to be honest, I think they've done a good job of building this up to where these guys and girls are always about to fucking crack under the goddamn pressure of this. And that if he can't carry the ball, we'll have to throw it to somebody else type of thing, where they're that kind of competition that they believe that will make people think, well, that's real, even if it's all horseshit they're telling them what to do. But they overshadow, and there's something to that, which I will a tip of the hat and a wag of the finger at the same time over that. But when you also go into such microscopic detail by showing how the producers are telling them every move to make before or predicting every move they'll make because they know, then you take and or magnifying it on topic here, the weaknesses that the guy has. You take away from the oomph of, I don't know, do we want to know that, the guy is fucking up, in that many different areas where we're trying to accentuate the positives. I'm just a promoter. I'm not a dramatic fucking expert of reality television.
Who was it? I forget now. Was it Bobby Roode here who was doing that, watching the match? He was calling out each move, or was it someone else?
I don't think it was Rude on this one. I can't remember.
I forget now. Yeah,
but there's several instances. But okay, here's an example. They did a segment on Charlotte and Tiffany, and their heat where the promo went off the rails, and they insinuated dalliances with the other one's penis, and I don't know what the fuck was going on with all of those things. But immediately after that happens, backstage, all the officials confer and they say, well, go make Tiffany apologize. Well, here's now, instead of making people know that they really got pissed at each other. So instead of letting us have that, then immediately one's told to go apologize. That's not the way we do things around here. And then when they go out and have a match, which is later on in the show, but I'll spoil the finish because it happened in April. They go out and have their match, and it was stiff. And I believe we halfway liked it, right? Is that one of the things that we didn't take the piss out of?
And I remember wondering about her tooth, what was going on. I'm glad to see they had no idea either.
And then we see that, and then they come back and hug each other and thank each other. Even the shit that happens that is real, they will immediately then make people apologize for publicly. I'm not saying there shouldn't have been an apology, and I'm not saying there shouldn't have been a hug, but I'm saying leave us not to fucking slit the throat of the Easter bunny before the kid's too old. Just to coin a phrase.
What do you think of clapping for everyone? Like that gorilla becomes like just this area where everyone gathers to clap for the person when they come back. What do you think of that?
Well, I get now it's expected, I guess, and people would be offended if it didn't happen. But I mean, every once in a while, most of the time that there was, when a guy came back from having a fantastic match, it was the locker room, not the gorilla, because there wasn't gorilla, because it didn't need to be gorilla because it wasn't on television. But in the 80s when TV ramped up, if guys were at a monitor where the fucking guy that just came from the ring would be coming through the curtain on his way to the locker room, you can imagine this setup, and they see him. There was occasions, mostly for flair, where the guys would applaud because, well, there's the guy and we just saw him. What a match, right? But it was never a ritual for everybody to come in and to hug everybody involved just right there. You went back to the locker room unless it's a long goddamn way, or, it was a dark spot. Hey, with two guys, hey, thanks, boom. But there wasn't ceremony around it. I don't know.
It's like that thing that Howard Baum said it a long time ago. They're like theater kids. I think, what did he say? Swole theater kids who work out. And it seems like, I don't know if emotionally is the right word, but a lot of them kind of want that. They want the big hug with your castmates, even the referees back there clapping. They want to, the bow. I mean, they seem to like that.
And I mean, that's the thing at the house shows, right, guys, because there were no phones, no internet, no prisons, no workhouses. So guys would watch the matches. And when you came back through the curtain, if the other 6 heels that were on the show, if there was 4 of them that were watching the match, hey, they wouldn't even applaud necessarily, but wow, you tore the house down. Some element of encouragement. Yeah, hey, thank you. And that made you feel good because you already knew you did because the fucking people were reacting. But if you came back and the people are sitting there with their dick in their hand, wondering if the popcorn is too salty. And then they just kind of, let you walk on by and, hey, everybody all right?
I mean, you
Type
literally
of
see
thing.
people stand up clapping while still watching their monitor. They're not even looking at the person they're allegedly clapping at. It's almost like, yep, it's time to clap. And now I'll go back to watching what I was watching on this monitor.
But should we talk about, because I'm looking at the order of notes I took. I will say that the long writers meeting where they talked about who should win at WrestleMania with Seth and Punk and Roman.
Oh, your boy Ed Koski.
But just everybody was in that. They're expressing the viewpoints. I wonder if they already had that meeting for real. And then they're redoing the meeting because they were also, this is the most low energy, boring, non-profane, blase booking meeting that I would have I've never been in one like that. If you're not pitching something with some fucking animation or goddamn, how about this or whatever the fuck. And that, I don't, but the random waffling around about the whole thing. I don't think it does any good when you're just, there was some element in the early show of exploiting the dislike, legitimate personal animosity between Seth Rollins and Punk. And you have Heyman who can blur people's lines in just a personal one-on-one conversation. And you could have, you could do some things and, et cetera. But now here's another thing I was going to discuss. That's what I was looking for, is everybody is a goddamn nervous wreck. These guys and girls, I've never seen, and I know I haven't been around the fucking locker room in a while, but Rio was talking about, I have panic attack or panic attacks or an attack.
She said she
last
had it
year
last
before
year.
Mania.
In the makeup chair, she said she had it, I think, right?
Yes. And I've never seen the level of stress. I've been around a lot of wrestling shows in my life, is the point that I'm making. And I've never seen the level of stress on the talent as they have now. And I know, yes, everything is bigger and more grand and glorious. Is it that, or is it also because now they realize they've got to fucking fall through fucking fully stocked Home Depot for the night or what? I don't know, but it's a shame, because that used to be the happy place, right? And the big show used to really be the happy place, because my God, we're going to get a fucking big check for this. The panic, it came when, have we got heat? Are we going to get fucking attacked or cut or sued or in a fucking beef? Are we going to court? Panic is, I'm hurt. Am I going to have surgery?
Not remembering spots.
Am I going to be, and guys, panic. But that wasn't panic attacks before the match. Well, a guy would fucking have a brain fart, forget the fucking spot. He wouldn't know that he'd forgotten it until he realized he'd forgotten it. And then boom, and then you get over it. Oh, Jesus Christ, you kicked me in the face. Well, you didn't move. But the dread or the nerves of beforehand is the only time that I get the panic when a big show, if the house was going to bomb, and, that was a panic attack. If you had a riot in the crowd, panic attack. But the happy place used to be for all, not just me, but most of the guys, when they went to once they were in the ring, especially if they were featured, they could have a nice fucking 15 or 20 minutes before they had to get back through the crowd, or fucking, goddamn, as long as they're not hurt when they come out, but just the level of stress is disconcerting. That used to be the one thing, when you get in the ring, you're in charge of everything. And everybody hugs and cries. There's a lot of crying now.
Yeah. A lot.
And even Punk was crying. And actually, if I liked his cry the best because he
Come on
did
now,
take,
what is that?
no, he did take like 25 years to achieve his childhood goal, and he main events WrestleMania, and he gets all teary-eyed over it. Well, that without saying that the business is fake, there's nothing about the fake or real. That's fucking great, right? But then it's the same thing as AEW. There's 6 other people crying on the fucking show. Well, then that's just a goddamn fucking funeral. It's a cry fest. There's too much crying.
I mean, he was crying on the shoulder of Triple H. That was something to see.
Well, hopefully he got a little snotty.
Triple H has this thing too where he gets in guys' faces
Yes,
to tell them how much he loves them. Punk here was emotional and it's what he wanted to hear, and they hugged. Jey Uso, the whole time you could tell what he's thinking, which is, this is nice, but you're 2 inches from my face, boss.
Yeah. He's a close talker.
I want to get away from you right now.
Please, can someone make this man quit touching me?
Thank you for the nice words. Send the check. I'll be in the back.
There's a number of people that don't look comfortable with just going into a goddamn bear hug with everybody. The Triple H pep talks are obviously, he's mic'd. He knows he's mic'd. I'm not saying that he doesn't think the matches are good or whatever, but it's somewhat performative that he's giving his blessing like the wrestling pope to all of the validation of all of their dreams and hopes. I want to see fucking Steve Austin in gimmick, or Brock Lesnar just, on any fucking day with a Y in it, walk through there and straight arm him and go and talk about where he can send his paycheck to. Because this is just, it's ridiculous.
Did Vince ever do that around you when you were there? The pep talk to guys before they went out, face to face? Belly to belly?
Yeah, yes, but a pep talk in terms of instructions on the way out of make sure you do this, that, the other thing, you can do it, whatever the fuck, boom. And on the way back, great, pal, excellent, just what we needed, that type. But there was no, even with Vince, there was no goddamn dry humping and simulated rabbitication or whatever the fuck going on. Now they're humping each other over hitting a fucking hip toss. Becky Lynch knocked Michael Hayes' hat off, and he is as bald as a cue ball on top. That's why he's always holding on to that hat. And I shouldn't laugh, because it'll happen to all of it. It's happening to me slowly, more slower than Michael, apparently, because he's only a couple years older than me. But but I've wondered why he was wearing the suits, and now I guess it's just because the jacket matches the hat that he has to wear.
Yeah, the suits is a bad look. He should go back to the rock and roll look. I came out of this really liking Michael Hayes. I think out of everyone on that writing team, I came out of this, he was my favorite one.
He seems to be the most level-headed. And what in the world am I saying? From the time I met him in 1979, I never believed that these words would come out of my mouth. Michael Hayes appears to be the level-headed one of the bunch, with some personality. So anyway, they just did Cody Rhodes. They gave him a hotel suite with an echo. Did you see that fucking joint?
Yeah.
I think one time at WrestleMania, we were in Chicago at a fucking, can't remember. It might've been a travel lodge.
Vegas.
He gets a hotel suite that you can play baseball in. It dragged on a while, and then Rhea talked about the panic attacks, and then They did the package on the women's three-way with the producer in the back. What's his name? Jason Jordan. Was he the one that did the girls, or was that the night after?
Oh, Jason Jordan was the guy I was thinking of that was calling the spots. That's who it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, he's done one of them here, but this is just night one, right? Oh, and I didn't mention Rhea Ripley went to a cool store in Las Vegas. I would actually go to that store if I was in Las Vegas, but I wouldn't travel to Las Vegas just to go to that store. But the three-way, everybody hugged and cried. Then it was, this was night fucking 2 already. Did I skip something? Whatever. Point is,
the Heyman turn. Did you skip the Heyman turn?
Oh, the Heyman turn. Yes, I was skipping ahead looking for goddamn who I was blaming for the other shit.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Rhea going to a cool shop, as you put it.
Oh, no. The goddamn, and Jay and Gunther. And Jay won. So it said, see, they figured that it was okay because they vindicated Jay in the end. Oh, but he could carry the load. But in the meantime, they've called out flaws that he still has. And yes, the whole Heyman turn, but again, Michael Hayes was walking us through it, and I could see again if he was saying, "Oh, wait, keep camera on Heyman," but not Heyman is going to hand him the thing in 2 seconds, and it's just so inside baseball. We're looking up the magician's sleeve. It's like they're puppets. There's not even room for interpretation. I don't like that part of it being spoiled. And again, then Paul, so far, have you heard Paul utter a goddamn non-committal word, or un-non-committal, I guess I should say, anything on this show that would commit him to the backstage?
That would blow the mystique? Nothing.
That would blow the mystique?
Nothing.
Somehow he's just, and for a target that large and with a girth to be able to navigate through those narrow twists and turns.
There it is.
And slip right through. It's like a fucking whale going through the Holland Tunnel.
All right, well, back to WWE Unreal.
Yes, then we got Cody and Cena. And Cena talked us through the match, how they cheered me, but they didn't hate Cody. See, I listened and I knew how to tell if they hated Cody. Well, no shit. They don't hate anybody anymore. This is all a big bunch of fucking gaga to them. But they did edit Travis Scott's entrance down from 6 minutes to 10 seconds. And again, the move by move thing. And everybody knows what happens. Cody faltered, hitting Cena with the belt, and Cena kicked him in the nuts, hit him with the belt, 1, 2, 3.
It looked even worse in this from the angle they showed Cena begging off and Cody falling for it.
Well, and that's the thing, all of us being reminded again of something I thought we had successfully moved on from. And Triple H actually said, well, this match, it wasn't as good as the triple threat or the girls, but it was what we needed. So it was like, that fucking hell. And Travis Scott said, this is the best feeling in the world, until he got felt up by somebody else.
Yeah,
the best part of the show. He was having a ball.
He was Travis Scott. Every time they showed him, he's having a great time. He just showed up, big wrestling fan with his marked belt, and they're like, sure, go be in the main event. Walk out.
And then the next week, well, there was a pretty light shining on the wall, and he got distracted and said, I'll do something else. The best part of the show was the last 2 minutes where they showed the crew packing up and the loadout, and Triple H saying, that's the thing. It will never be over. It never ends. And that's why my hats are off to these people, especially anybody that's within 15 years as old as I am, to want to be out there for in any capacity, announcing, refereeing, doing the fucking catering, whatever. with that schedule, with that level of production, with that many pains in a fucking ass as they have now, it's a wonder that all of them aren't batshit insane and just go postal and start fucking swinging from a bell tower.
Well, that was WWE Unreal Episode 5. There was an announcement, and of course, they had something on the screen. It will return next year. For just much like The Rock, it will return next year.
Much like the next herpes outbreak.
Did you hear about that?
What?
No, apparently there's a video of Mandy Rose saying that there was a herpes outbreak at Developmental at some point.
Oh, good. Like now I can't even mention herpes without it being tied to fucking wrestling.
I thought that's what you were referencing.
No, herpes is just a good old standby.
In Orlando, yes.
Well, all over the country. But it can come back on you if you don't watch out. Oh,
well, Jim, perhaps you have all these stresses on your mind, whether it's
it's a heaviness.
The business being exposed or the rise of wrestling herpes. There's a lot to think about. It may be hard to get a good night's sleep. It may be hard to deal with the aches and pains you have from running from these issues. But we know someone who could help with all of that and potentially more, our friends at Cornbread Hemp.
Well, that's more issues. That's what they can help with. People today, Brian, they don't have issues. They've got subscriptions. It's a variety. It's a plethora. It's a cornucopia of things. It's like being in one of those old 80s video games with things coming at you. All the pings that are coming at you, and you got to duck them, or elsewise they're going to whack you. Are you tired of life playing whack-a-mole with your noggin out there, people? People, I say, are you tired? Are you sore? Are you fed up? Have you had enough? Well, in that case, you know what you need to do. Don't open the window and scream, I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore, because some nut will shoot your ass. What instead you do is stay in your own home and avail yourself of the opportunity for the full spectrum CBD gummies in watermelon, berry, and peach that our friends over at Cornbread Hemp are making. That's right. That's fine products from the best part of the hemp plant, which I found out last week is not the root. I figured it'd be the root, the best part of the plant, because that's where all the life comes from, but it's the flower, which makes sense because it's a pretty flower. And they take that for the purest and most potent CBD formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, sleeplessness, guilt, misery, gloom, despair, and agony. Oh, me, deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad sleep, I'd have no sleep at all. So just take some CBD gummies and boom goes the dynamite. You will be floating on a cloud in dreamland, in slumberland, somnambulistic in your form. As a matter of fact, Brian, you're going to age better this way because it slows your heart rate, your breathing, and everything down to almost a suspended animation. You sleep so good.
No, we've gone through this. There will be no suspended animation or even like suspended animation. Let's just make sure we're clear about that here.
Oh, no, so you don't get suspended. You just maybe have to stay after school a little bit.
We're talking about a pleasant night's sleep. We're talking about aches and pains. We're talking about all the things that CBD can do to help you from our friends at Cornbread Hemp.
Well, especially the stress, because you got all that pew, 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 pew coming at you. So the stress of these things can be alleviated if you go now to cornbreadhemp.com. That's CORNBREAD. Some people don't put the A in bread, and it'll never rise if you do it like that. Cornbreadhemp.com. You're going to be able to save 30% on your first order. Just use the code that I'm trying to find at this point. It's such a secret code. That's right. The code is JCE. You would think I'd know that by now, but I just wanted to make sure. Folks, if you've got that code, and even I don't sometimes know the codes, that's why it's a very exclusive club. Cornbreadhemp.com/JCE. you're going to get 30% off on your first order. That means you can take 30% more of these things and sleep 30% longer. Just make sure you set some type of clock or alarm, or at least ask a neighbor to check in after a few days, because you're going to sleep right through all the bullshit.
You're not going to sleep the deep sleep.
Just leave your window open for your neighbor.
You will
just
be
in
fine.
case.
Keep your windows closed. There's a lot of crime out there, folks. Don't just leave your windows open, and don't rely on your neighbor. Rely on your fellow man. Relying on him is a bad idea. Rely on yourself. And of course, Cornbread Hemp. You can trust them. Good products that won't leave you in suspended animation, like this show seemingly is doing to me right now.
Yes,
Jim.
Yes, that as a matter of fact, that's been scientifically proven that also CBD will make you more self-reliant.
Jim, once again, I don't know if that's scientifically proven. I don't know if we could say that, but Jim, one more time as we wrap up with a professional tone here. What's that promo code?
Well, if you want a professional tone right now, our listeners can save 30% on their first order by heading to cornbreadhemp.com and using the code JCE. Cornbreadhemp.com/JCE, code JCE. Live your life by JCE.